Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. This is it. Week 1 of the college football season is officially here. We have some great games. We have Friday games, Saturday games, Sunday games, Monday games. Everything is crazy. Football season is back. We don't really care. We're just glad to have something to watch on our Saturday mornings. We're going to break down all of our matchups today, all of our ranked matchups. This is going to be our quick fire video. We're going to try to hit all these games as quickly as possible. For those of you who have some time restraints, first things first, though, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, drop them below. Do you agree? Disagree? What are your thoughts on these games? Let me know what your picks are in the comment section. I will respond to every comment. If you want to sign up for our member teams, make sure to check out the pinned comment down below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would appreciate it. This is going to be rapid fire, guys. Make sure to pay attention. I'm going to try to throw it out there as quickly as possible. Our very first ranked game is going to be on Friday night at 7:30 p.m. on Peacock. Number 12, the Fighting Illini on the road here versus the Western Illinois Leather Jackets. Illini, 45-point favorite, 63.5 over-under. Illini last year, 28.3 points a game, giving up 21.5. Luke Altmaier's back. This is a veteran team, experienced team. Some people are calling him this year's version of Indiana. Can they live up to that hype? They're already situated at 12. So if they're able to finish the season there, guys, they'll get themselves in the playoffs. This is an under-the-radar, underdog, dark horse team to keep your eye on. They're obviously going to win this game. FCS foe. I have Illinois walking away with a 48-7 win. And now moving on to our official Saturday games at 12 p.m. on ABC. We're going to have the Syracuse Orange versus the Tennessee Volunteers. Number 24 on ABC. Tennessee 13.5-point favorites. Over here is 50.5. Syracuse, they lost their number one passing team last season. Kyle McCord is gone. That entire wide receiver core is gone. They led the nation in passing. Fran Brown, though, bringing in a lot of transfers. He is recruiting well. You have Steve Angeli coming over from Notre Dame. He's going to be slinging it up and down the field, but will they be able to move the ball against this Tennessee defense? Yes, they lost Nico. Bringing in Joey Aguilar hasn't had that many reps in this system, but one thing you know about Josh Heupel is he is one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. Tennessee last season, they could run it, they could throw it. They had a great defense, a great offense, top 20 offense, top 10 defense. Give me Tennessee winning this game. The defense should suffocate, but a lot of new players in this scheme for Tennessee, so there's going to be some growing pains here, but they walk away with the win 34-21. And talking about this year's Indiana, why not mention Indiana themselves on Fox Sports 1 at 2:30? You have Old Dominion versus Indiana. Indiana coming in here at number 20, an 88.5% chance to win. Kurt Cignetti, he says the famous words, all he does is win. You have Fernando Mendoza transferring over from Cal. He's going to be the quarterback. A lot of reps under this guy's belt. They're going to have a good offense. They've had a very easy schedule last season, very easy Big Ten schedule this season. They could potentially make the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe an 8 or 9 win. They had to replace a lot of pieces, but with Mendoza, they have that foundational quarterback. Give me Indiana cruising to the win here. They win this one 48-17. And our next game at 3:30 p.m., you're going to have the Nevada Wolfpack versus the Penn State Lions. Penn State number 2. This is their chance. They are the veteran experienced team this season, just like the Buckeyes were last season, just like Michigan was the season prior. Drew Aller back for another year of college football. The deepest 1-2 running back punch in the nation. Singleton, Allen. They can line up 2,000-yard backs. You have Drew Aller back. You have a great defense. Dennis Sutton, Zane Durant. There's weapons there. In Nevada, they're just not any good in any way whatsoever. They don't have a good offense. They don't have a good defense. Penn State has their sights set on a Big Ten championship and on the big sight on a potential national championship berth and victory. Give me Penn State cruising here. They win this one 48-10. And then the game of the entire week 1 week, we have number 1 versus number 3, Texas Longhorns visiting number 3, the defending champions, Ohio State Buckeyes. Fox, 12 p.m. It is a shame this game is not a night game. We got robbed by Big Noon. This should be at night in Columbus, Ohio. Buckeyes, 1.5-point favorites, 47.5 over. The spread keeps getting closer. 2 of the most talented teams in the country, top 5 overall rosters, loaded at every single position. We finally get to see Arch Manning as the full-time number 1 starter. You have Sayin taking over for the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes, they are loaded. These teams sent a lot of players to the NFL, but the Buckeyes offense, they're still great. Jeremiah Smith, the best offensive player in the country. Carnell Tate, Ennis, there's weapons there. Great defense. Allen coming over as the defensive coordinator. This team's going to be loaded. They're going to be aggressive. Texas Longhorns, Steve Sarkisian. This team is also loaded. There's weapons at running back, wide receiver, the offensive line. I want to see how they do. Can they open the season in Columbus? How's that going to work? I'm going to go with the Buckeyes winning a very, very close game. This is a 50-50 matchup. Could go either way, but the Buckeyes pull away. They win it 30-27. And then at 3:30 p.m. on ABC, number 8, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Year 2, Kalen DeBoer bringing Ryan Gubbs back as the offense coordinator. That's going to work wonders. They're going to get back to a Kalen DeBoer type of offense, vertically pushing the ball down the field, getting very aggressive with your passing game. They also got to work on the run game. They got to get the defense back on track. But obviously, this is a loaded roster. Top 3 overall roster in the entire country. Some people might say they are the best roster. Bama 13.5-point favorites. Over is going to be 49.5. Florida State, Mike Norvell, a lot of pressure on him. Has to make up for 2 wins last season. You can't win 2 seasons again. You need to at least get to a bowl game this season. That would be inexcusable not to. Thomas Castellanos transferring over as the quarterback. You have Gus Malzahn coming over as the offensive coordinator. A much improved roster, but is it good enough to compete with Alabama? I don't think so. I have Bama taking this one 34-17. And then at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN, the Marshall Thundering Herd versus number 5 Georgia Bulldogs. Extremely talented. Kirby Smart, Bobo, one of the better teams in the nation on both sides of the ball. You have Carson Beck is gone. You have Gunnar Stockton taking over as the quarterback going forward 4-time. Georgia 39.5-point favorites, a 55.5 over-under. Georgia, you got to get that run game going. Georgia used to be able to line up and out-muscle people at the line of scrimmage. You got to get the defense back on track. Still had a top 25 defense last season. Georgia is used to being in the top 10. This team is loaded at every single position. They brought in a lot of transfers at the wide receiver position. Zachariah Branch, make sure to keep your eye on him. Gunnar Stockton, mobile quarterback. He can extend plays with his legs. That's going to help the passing game. They led the nation in drops last season. When you can run the ball, that opens up the play action. The play action circles right back around, opens up the run game. I have Georgia cruising here. They win this one 52-7. Marshall, a lot of starters coming in. They lost so many starters, they couldn't even play their bowl game last year. 3:30 p.m. on Fox, you have South Dakota versus number 22 Iowa State, 1-0. One of the rare teams that played week 0. They beat Kansas State. They were able to run the ball, push the ball down the field. Rocco Beck back for another season as the quarterback. This is 3:30 on Fox. Iowa State Cyclones, 16.5-point favorites. The over here is 46.5. This is a Matt Campbell team. You know they're going to be disciplined. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play action. They're going to play elite defense on and special teams. Keep the penalties down. Iowa State, very talented wide receiver core right now. A lot of new pieces in that core. They played great versus Kansas State. I have Iowa State easily winning this one. Do not underestimate South Dakota, though. But Iowa State wins 40-13. And this next game, we don't have a spread yet for August 30th at 4 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. You have Montana State versus the Oregon Ducks. Oregon Ducks obviously breaking in their new quarterback, 5-star quarterback, taking over for Dylan Gabriel. They've had some injuries to the wide receiver core, but this team is loaded. Dan Lanning, he's gone through the works to recruit, work the portal. This roster's probably sitting around number 6 or 7 in the entire country. They're going to have a good offense. They're going to have a good defense, but you need to get your new quarterback some reps here. Who better than versus an FCS team? Might start out kind of slow, but when they hit the ground running, they are going to be running. I have the Ducks winning this one 44-13. 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, Illinois State versus number 18, the Oklahoma Sooners. This game is in Oklahoma. Brent Venables under a lot of pressure this season. He has to not just make a bowl game, he has to me, at least win 7 or 8 games with one of the most difficult schedules I've ever seen in my life by the fan vote. The second most difficult schedule in the country next to the Florida Gators. But you brought over John Mateer, a new revamped wide receiver core. They're not injured right now. And John Mateer could potentially compete for the Heisman this season. 3,500 to 4,000 passing yards, 800 to 1,000 rushing yards. He can do a little bit of everything. He has Arbuckle coming over from Washington State as pass offense coordinator. He's in the same scheme, same system, better players, better line. They're going to have a top 20 defense. They're going to be physical here. To get ready for SEC play, you got to run through these cupcake games. You got to get everything oiled up. Oklahoma wins this game 45-16. And we also don't have a spread yet for this next game, 7 p.m. on the SEC Network or ESPN Plus. Long Island University versus number 15, Florida. The most difficult schedule I have ever seen in my football watching life. It is a gauntlet. Billy Napier, also a lot of pressure on him. He's on the hot seat. Won 8 games last year. Bought himself another season. DJ Lagway, everything that hinges on the season hinges on DJ Lagway staying upright, staying healthy, playing a complete season. It is a gauntlet. And the out-of-conference games, they're tough too. This game's a cupcake. You want to see them beat the crap out of Long Island, get everything going, get the offense on track. You have LSU soon. You have Miami soon. You need to have the ball rolling. Gators roll here 55-7. 7 p.m. on ESPN, UTSA versus number 19, the Texas A&M Aggies. This is going to be a really fun game. The Aggies come in here 22.5-point favorites, a 56.5 over-under. This game, College Station, it's going to be crazy week 1. You have Mike Elko, disciplined coach. He wants to win at the line of scrimmage, the offensive line. defensive line. From the inside out, they're going to be physical at the point of attack in the trenches. UTSA, they are not a bad team. Do not underestimate them. Could they pull off the upset here? It is possible. Is it likely? In no way whatsoever. They could move the ball, but will they be able to move the ball on these players that the Aggies have on the roster? That's going to be extremely hard to do. The Aggies, the physical team, this offense, the physicality of this team, especially the run game. Marcel Reed, Le'Veon Moss, Daniels, there's weapons at quarterback, running back, wide receiver, a top 10 overall roster. I have the Aggies getting the easy win here, but UTSA might get some garbage points. The Aggies win this one 37-18. And 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus, North Dakota versus number 17, Kansas State. Obviously, the new poll hasn't coming out. Kansas State lost week 0. They could drop out of the top 25, could just be somewhere from 23 to 25. We don't know right now, but Kansas State, Avery Johnson, you got to get things back on track. Circle the wagons. Edwards, get the ground game going. The ground game will open up the play action. Kansas State, they love to run the ball. Top 15 rushing offense last season. That's where they want to make their bread and butter. Look for Kansas State to rebound here. Strong win, 48-20. And our second top 10 versus top 10 matchup of week 1. It's very rare you get that. Definitely make sure to enjoy it. August 3rd, 7:30 p.m. ABC. This is one of the best games of the week. Probably one of the best games of the season. Kicking things off, SEC versus ACC. LSU, Clemson. LSU's number 9. Clemson's number 4. This is the battle of the Death Valleys. The battle of the Tigers. Who is number 1? The scouts are going to be there. This is 2 of the top quarterbacks for the NFL draft. Nussmeier, Klubnik, 2 of the most experienced quarterbacks in the entire country. You have your top 4 guys who are veterans. Aller, Carson Beck, Nussmeier, Klubnik. Lots of experience here. The offense is a rolling. Brian Kelly needs this win. He needs to start out this win. He has not won a week 1 game at LSU since he's been the head coach. He cannot afford to drop another one. Dabo, a lot of praise coming into this season. People are saying Clemson is back. Dabo wants to show his way works. Right now, Clemson's coming into this game. They are the favorites, 4.5-point favorites, 57.5 over-under. I think this game's going to be close. It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be decided in the trenches, but both of these teams are equally as talented as the other. They're both going to have improved offenses, improved defenses, but we know both teams can sling the ball. Klubnik, to me, though, he might be the Heisman frontrunner right now. That might make the difference. Give me Clemson winning this one. They win it in the fourth quarter, 32-24. And on NBC Peacock at 7:30 p.m., we have the New Mexico Lobos versus the Michigan Wolverines. Sharon Moore, a lot of pressure on him because of all the stuff that went on a couple seasons ago. It really doesn't matter. It's not going to interrupt this team. Michigan's going to be heavy favorites here. 37-point favorites, a 49.5 over-under. Bryce Underwood could be getting the call here as the starting quarterback, 5-star, the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school. You know what Michigan does. They line up in the eye, they run it down your throat, they ground and pound, usually first, second, third quarter sometimes, very close games. By the fourth quarter, your defense is wore out and they out-physical you at the line of scrimmage. They did it to the Buckeyes last season. They did it to Alabama last season. Far more talented rosters. They're definitely going to do it to New Mexico. It is what it is. The quarterback just has to take whatever the defense gives him. Give me Michigan win this one 33-13. And at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus, Arkansas Pine Bluff versus number 23 Texas Tech. Texas Tech bringing in the number 1 transfer portal class, not in the Big 12, in the entire nation. They threw so much money at this team. It is loaded. It is talented. They lost one of their best weapons this past week, though. That will hurt this team, but they should be able to overcome it, especially versus Arkansas Pine Bluff. There's no spread out right now, but we know Texas Tech, they're going to beat the crap out of them. They have their veteran quarterback coming back. The defense just has to get somewhat better. It was atrocious last season. It will be better this year because there's better talent. Just how much better? That's the big question. Texas Tech Red Raiders, they win this one 58-27, high scoring game. And it is Austin Simmons time in Oxford, Mississippi. That's the next game at 7:45 p.m. on the SEC Network. Ole Miss coming in here. Ole Miss is 34.5-point favorite, 61.5 over-under. Austin Simmons taking over for Jackson Dart. Trey Harris is gone. They've been depleted at the running back position, perish out. But this is Lane Kiffin, one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. He has rebuilt. He has retooled. He's going to have the weapons there. They had a top 10 offense last season, a top 10 defense. They might not have a top 10 defense this season, but as long as they can keep it to around 20, they still have a shot to be competitive in the SEC and make a dark horse chance run at one of those final 12 positions at a potential national championship. Lane Kiffin, you know they're going to move the ball. Austin Simmons getting so much praise. I cannot wait to see him on the field versus a real team, especially once SEC play starts. But no matter what, I have the Rebels winning this one 60-14. You know they always score a lot of points those first couple games. That's just the way it works out every year. 9 p.m. on the ACC Network East, Texas A&M versus SMU. SMU 50.5-point favorites. Over here is 63.5. SMU, Rhett Lashley, he's been working the portal hard, bringing in a lot of players. They had a very talented team. They made the playoffs last season. Jennings is back as the quarterback. Did not start last season as the starting quarterback game one. He is now a full season of experience under his belt. Mobile quarterback, dual threat quarterback. He's going to be surrounded by weapons. Get him warmed up. He wasn't the starting quarterback last year when the season started. He is right now. Get him ready. Get the weapons set up. Once ACC play starts, you have a pretty easy schedule. As long as you take care of business, you could find yourself, again, back-to-back seasons facing Clemson in the ACC championship. I have SMU rolling here. They win this one 47-7. And then a late one, 10 p.m. on ESPN Plus, Northern Arizona versus their in-state rival, number 11 Arizona State, the reigning Big 12 champions. They lost Cam Skattebo. Massive loss from last season. One of the best running back performances we've seen in a while, him and Ashton Gentry last season. But you still have Sam Levitt. You still have a very experienced quarterback. A lot of people are giving this guy a lot of praise. Some people are starting to give him NFL praise as well. Dual threat quarterback, but by far a pass-first quarterback. He just has some speed with his legs. He can get out of pressure. But what type of steps back do we see from the Sun Devils with the loss of Skattebo? He was a lot of this offense. He's gone. The rest of the team has to step up. Thankfully, you have Levitt, and you still have Tyson at wide receiver. Dillingham with his offense. This is an extremely talented team who's been working the portal. I have Arizona State winning this one big. They pull away with the win, 53-14. And now we're moving on to our two ranked Sunday matchups. There's some good ones. At 3:30 p.m. August 31st on ESPN, the Virginia Tech Hokies versus the South Carolina Gamecocks. This is a very interesting game because don't forget, Beamer's dad built the Virginia Tech football program. So he's going up against the house that his father built, Blacksburg, Virginia. The Gamecocks, very talented team last year. Came out of nowhere last season. They were on no one's radar. They just missed out on a playoff berth. Props to Shane Beamer for building this squad. A lot of weapons here, a lot of ability with this team, a top 30 offense, top 30 defense from last season. The games that they lost were extremely close, one-possession games. Fact of the matter is they were in every single game. Lenore Sellers getting a lot of praise right now. Some people are saying that he's a Heisman hopeful. It is very possible. He can throw 25, 3,000 yards, could run up through 1,000 yards this season. There's a lot of things that he can do. The defense lost some pieces to the NFL, but still a lot of talent there. They're starting to recruit really well. The Gamecocks, 7.5-point favorites, 51.5 over under. These lines have been moving a lot since they were first published. The thing about Virginia Tech is, with Drones and company, this team, they have the ability to be very competitive. They were a top 25 team when last year started. They completely fell out the gate, never were able to rebound. The talent's there, though, but in order to beat the Gamecocks, they're going to have to play one of their best games, and I just don't think it's going to happen. Give me the Gamecocks winning this one, 34-20. And how is this even possible? Our third top 10 versus top 10 matchup all within week one. It is crazy, guys. We are really blessed to start out this season. August 31st, 7:30 p.m. on ABC, the Notre Dame Irish coming to Coral Gables to play the Miami Hurricanes. There's bad blood in the water. Don't forget what happened to Notre Dame last time they came all the way back to Miami back in, what was that, 2017, 2018. That doesn't matter. That's not going to help this team. Completely different teams. Anything can happen this game. This is two very talented teams. Notre Dame, the runner-up to the national championship last season. You can't forget that. This team is talented. Freeman has this team ready to roll. Ash, Denbrock, good coaching staff. Miami, the number one offense in the nation last season. Cam Ward is gone, though. Carson Beck comes in, one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the nation, and they brought in Heatherman as the D coordinator. That defense was an awful joke last season. There's nowhere to go for that but up. Right now, Notre Dame, 2.5-point favorites, a 49.5 over-under. Both of these teams, physical offensive lines. Both have top 10, top 5 offensive lines. Both teams can run the ball. Notre Dame, the best running back in the nation, Jeremiah Love, but Miami, they're right there with them. Fletcher and company, very good running backs, young wide receiver core. It's just unproven as of right now. That's not the case for Notre Dame. Greyhouse facing a lot of weapons there. CJ Carr taking over as the quarterback. Young guy, his very first start on the road versus Miami. To me, that's too much to ask. If it comes down to one final drive, I got to go with the veteran Carson Beck. Give me Miami winning this one, 27-24. Guys, that's our quick fire picks and predictions for all of our top 25 games. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, drop them below. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment down below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. We got it done in 20 minutes. Thank you guys for watching.